or marathon.
The new year held such promise. You tweaked your diet, hit the gym, and finally make time for yourself, family, and friends. But then you realize it's already past January and nothing has changed. Do you give up or tell yourself you've just been far too busy and you'll get to it later? But later never comes. Neither is a helpful choice if you're serious about wanting those new results, says my next guest, Joan Posivy. As a teenager, Joan discovered a set of principles which showed her how to buy her first house at age 19, became a bank manager by age 22, traveled the world, and so much more. Through study and practical applications, she learned that anyone can live the life of their dreams. They just need to be shown how to do it. Joan reveals that in her book, her best-selling, an international bestseller book, The Way Success Works, How to Decide, Believe, and Begin to Live Your Life, your best life now. Welcome to the show, Joan.
Thank you so much, Christine. I'm thrilled to be here.
Oh my goodness, you know, in January, a lot of people hit the gym. You know, they're saying they're going to lose weight, they want to do a personal best, but then something happens along the way.
Yeah.
And that is, they quit.
Yes.
So, is it easier to make a resolution than it is to break it?
Oh, absolutely. I think we're all masters if we want to be at making it. The challenge can be keeping it. But the good news is it's absolutely possible. Anybody can do it, as long as it's something that they truly want.
So how do you do it? Like, you visualize it, you stick, like, write it in your calendar? Like, how do you just keep it?
Well, there's actually a common error that most people make. And I do say the majority because the majority, unfortunately, don't stick with the program that's going to cause them to reach their resolution. Let's use weight loss as an example, because once again, it's topped the list this year for the most popular resolution. We are all creatures of habit, more so than I think we want to admit. Like, for example, we all have patterns and habits around eating. You know, we typically eat the same thing for breakfast and reach for certain things for lunch, and our dinner choices are often pretty consistent, and if we snack during the day or not. And we also have habits around our exercise. I mean, I know people who actually don't really exercise at all, and yet others who, if they haven't done something physical for like 2 or 3 days, they're going stir crazy. It's like, I gotta go out and do something, right? And so these habits have built up over years. So imagine now it's January 1st, and I say to myself, okay, this year is going to be different.
Yeah.
I'm going to hit the gym, become my ideal weight, make healthier choices, get control of my financial future, etc. But what I don't recognize is that I'm coming up against those habitual behaviors and patterns that I've created over the years, and willpower alone won't do it. It won't fix the problem. It might for like a week or 2, maybe 3, and that's why we see typically the first of the year, the gyms like explode with people.
Yeah.
And then you notice like a week, 2, 3, 4, that it's kind of like back to normal. So that's what's going on. People are dropping off.
You know, procrastination sets in. Oh, I'm going to hit the gym at 4 o'clock, and then you're looking at it's 6 o'clock, and it's just a mindset. It's you know, learning to, you know, keep your discipline, you know, your habits of doing it at a certain time. That helps. And also, I mean, is this helpful when you say to yourself, I make an appointment with yourself? You know, even though you don't want to do it, say, I'm going to make an appointment with myself today. Right. I'm going to exercise. I'm going to see a friend, and it's motivating because you have that goal.
That's the first piece, but that's a conscious decision, and that's not the part of our mind that's driving our behavior. See, in order to actually follow through on the resolution, we've got to change that old conditioning. We've got to go to the root cause. See, on a conscious level, I can say and think about all the wonderful benefits that would come to me if I were to follow through on these resolutions. But that's not the part of the mind that's going to get me out of bed an hour early in a northern winter, or cause me to grab those kale chips instead of the bag of cheesies. What we need to do is get into the root cause of the problem, which is in our paradigm, which is deep in our subconscious mind. If I can give you an example?
Yes.
Yeah. You and I right now drive our vehicle on ideas that are fixed in our subconscious mind. If you think back to the first time you learned to drive,
Yes.
Oh, I remember, like, you're all hands and legs, right? I remember turning on the radio a little bit more, turning up the volume, and the whole car started to go over to the right, because my body wasn't yet programmed to do that. But then what happens through repetition, we do it over and over and over again, until you get to the point now where you jump in the vehicle, you're not thinking about how you're driving. You might be thinking about where you're going, but if you come across a red light, you don't consciously think, oh, it's a red light, I have to put my foot on the brake. You do it automatically. And we need to change that conditioning that are going to create the habits that will become automatic. But it doesn't happen overnight.
It takes practice.
Yes.
And your book is a bestseller.
Yes.
International bestseller, I should say.
Yes.
So tell us about the book. What inspired you?
It was actually my work with youth over the years that really inspired me to do it. But even prior to then, at the age of 19, I was shown a set of principles that really caused me to see that, number one, we really could achieve what it is that we wanted, and I was given a template of how to. And what I've done over all these years is tweaked it and thrown out what I couldn't get to work and only included, excuse me, what I could find to work. So with respect to those resolutions and getting back to the root cause, what we've got to do is, using that same principle of repetition, is number one, that's one of the first laws of learning. We learn two ways, actually. One is through impact. You know, when something really impactful happens and boom, you change. The other is through repetition, when we hear or see something over and over again. That's how we learn those annoying jingles you sometimes hear on the radio when you're walking down the street and you hear yourself humming it, you know, like that McDonald's one. Do-do-do-do-do.
Oh, yes.
I'm loving it, right? We all know that one, but we didn't set a goal of, okay, I'm going to learn that jingle, but we heard it over and over again. And of course, pro athletes, great runners know this. They're visualizing their perfect performance, going across the finish line, finishing it. So that's what we need to do, is we create that, what I call the freedom statement, that describes you already having followed through on that resolution.
And that is...
I am so happy and grateful. I am so happy and grateful now that I am my ideal weight of 150 pounds, 70 kilos, whatever it is. And you see yourself already there, and oh, you can feel, imagine what that would feel like. And the state of health of your body, and how your posture changes. And again, you visualize it, but we have our existing habits from years of conditioning, so doing this once isn't going to do it. When you write out the freedom statement, that's a conscious exercise. And then as you allow yourself to become in a relaxed state and really feel what that feels like, being that ideal weight, just I'm using that one as an example. That's having that conversation with the subconscious mind. And over time, you'll begin to make choices that are in alignment with those goals.
Excellent. And Joan, for more information, where can they go?
They could join us at thewaysuccessworks.com. And I've created a tool, it's an audio tool, to help people create those statements and see themselves in the possession of that resolution that's going to cause them to take new behavior. And they can get that by emailing me from the website. Somewhere in there, just put Run With It giveaway, and we'll get it to them free. They can't buy it anywhere.
Okay. Thank you, Joan, for coming to the show, and I'd like you to come back.
Thank you very much, Christine. I'd love to come back.
Yeah, and we'll be right back after this break.